Hi, this is Scott the Peaceful Shaver. So I wanted to talk a minute about birth year razors. One of the really fun aspects of collecting and using classic Gillette safety razors is that with a fair amount of accuracy, you can correctly date a Gillette safety razor within a month or two as to when it was produced and manufactured. In the early part of the 20th century, they did have serial numbers on their safety razors from 1904 through the 1920s that told you when it was pretty close to when it was made. Then in the 1950s, and I'm looking at my iPad here so that I get it right, they began putting date codes on the razor. Usually underneath the head, there is a letter and a number. The letter corresponds, it's a code for a year, and the number is the quarter that it was manufactured within that year. So beginning in 1950, they used a V. I'm not sure why they started with V. In 1951, it was a W. In 52, it was an X. 53, it was a Y. In 54, it was a Z. The way that makes it easy for me to remember is that the A was in 1955. And then I just continue from there. A was 1955, B was 1956, C was 1957, and so on. Let's see, the only exception was that they did not use a Q. They went TUV, elemental P. So in 1970, it was a P, and then they didn't use a Q, probably because it looked too much like the O, which was for 1969. They went right from P to R in 1971. Then when they went back to Z in 1979, then they restarted again with A in 1980. And then they continued to do this up until 1988 when the last Gillette, sadly the last Gillette safety razors rolled off the assembly line. So my birth year is 1965, and I'm actually recording this on my birthday. My 51st birthday is today. I am a K2. K is 1965. The 2 is the second quarter. So the first quarter would be January, February, March. The second quarter would be April, May, and June. Third quarter would be July, August, September. And the fourth quarter will be October, November, December. So if you were born sometime from the 1950s on, you can collect, as long as you were born before 1989, you can find your birth year razors, and you can go online and find out what razors were manufactured in that year by Gillette, and you can collect them. And this is one of the really fun parts of collecting safety razors. I have tried to assemble all of the safety razors, at least the double-edged safety razors, that were manufactured in the second quarter of 1965, which made them a K2. So I believe I now own them all. So I'm going to show you my K2 1965 Gillette safety razors. All of them are within a month the same age as me. And I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool shaving with something that's just as old as you are. And in my case, it's more than a half century, which is pretty good. So we'll start with the techs. So this is a plastic handle K2 Tech. Okay. This one is the ball end Tech. The head is, I really don't see any difference in the head. I don't have a food scale, so I can't really weigh them. But certainly because this one is metal and this one is plastic, this one gives you a lot more weight than this one does. And I tend to like a weightier razor. But these are both K2 Techs. And then the other Tech that they made was the Travel Tech, which is also a K2. And the head on all three of these, pretty much the same. Mild razors. Okay, so those are the Techs. Then we come to the Super Speed. And in 1965, they made the flare tip Super Speed. Okay, twist to open. Great razor, good weight to it. Love the way it loads, works terrific. copied to this day by Vanderhagen and by other manufacturers that make super speed knockoffs to this day. And it all started with the Gillette Super Speed. So this is my K2 flare tip Super Speed from 1965. Then we have my two favorite razors to shave with from my birth year. The Slim Adjustable and the Aristocrat version of same. Both of these K2s, both of them awesome, awesome shavers. Probably the best adjustables ever made. Very similar to a Fat Boy, longer handle, longer, thinner handle, which I really enjoy. And I don't think a better safety razor was ever made than these. So these are both K2s. One is the regular chrome, the other one is the gold Aristocrat Slims. Don't forget the ladies. So they made 3 different color lady Gillettes. They had champagne, pink, and blue. And the last one that I acquired was this pink. I was waiting for a I love pink, so I was waiting for an excellent specimen of a pink K2 Lady Gillette before I pulled the trigger. And this one, I mean, the stars are perfect, the paint is beautiful, barely looks used. So 3 different colors. I think the rarest one is the champagne, but I was actually able to find that one fairly easily. It was the pink one that gave me trouble. So my K2 Lady Gillettes in champagne, pink, and blue. So there's 9 safety razors, all different, all made in the second quarter of 1965, my birth year razors. Gillette also made a Techmatic, which was a band razor, which I really have no interest in. I like DE razors. So it's just another fun aspect of the hobby that you could look for. Look for your birth year razor, and it's fun to use on your birthday. You know, pull it out and use it. And it's something that's as old as you are, or as young as you are. In my case, as old as I am. So thanks for watching. Have a great night.